meeting to order of the City of Laredo Historic District Landmark Board. Today is November 10th, 2022, and we are beginning our meeting at 12:07. It's 12:06. Could staff call the roll, please?
Yes, ma'am. Rebecca Sepulveda,
Present.
Roberto D. Gonzalez,
Present.
María Elena Morales, Cristina Davila Villarreal, Wayne Nance,
Here.
Stanley Green,
Present.
Priscilla Iglesias,
Present.
and Mark Gonzalez. Madam Chair, for the record, you do have quorum.
Thank you. The agenda calls for Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next item, item 4, is approval of minutes. We have two sets, September 8th, 2022, and October 13th, 2022. Have the members present had the opportunity to review the minutes?
I did, and I agree with the minutes.
So we have the first set of minutes was an actual meeting, and the second was a meeting with no quorum. Do I hear a motion to approve both sets of minutes?
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion and second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. The next item is citizen comments.
Madam Chair, we don't have any comments registered.
Thank you very much. Item 6, public hearing and consideration of the following. Public hearing and consideration of a motion to consider the erection of multiple attached signage and the removal of multiple existing signage on lots 1, 2, 3, and a portion of the west side of Lot 4, Block 11, Western Division, located at 815 Grant Street. The property is within the San Agustin de Laredo Historic District. Do we have a staff?
Yes, we do. We have a brief presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Madam Chair. For the record, the applicant is the Diocese of Laredo owner. Biomat USA is the applicant. South Texas Neon Sign Co. Inc. is the representative. The property description location is lots 1, 2, 3, and a portion of the west side of Lot 4, Block 11, Western Division, located at 815 Grant Street in the San Agustin de Laredo Historic District. The request requiring board approval is the applicant is proposing to remove existing roof signage and the removal of the attached wall signage located on the south of the building. New attached signage is being proposed on the north and the south walls of the building. Letter sent or 19 for 0 against 0. This is the aerial view. North view from Grant Street. The south view from Zaragoza Street. This is a site plan with the attached signage and the roof signs location. Photos of the existing signage. Second photo of the existing signage. This is materials specifications. Continuation of material specifications. And continuation. Continuation of the specifications and staff recommendations. Staff supports the proposed erection of multiple attached signage and removal of multiple existing signage in the following ways. The attached signage complies with the City of Laredo Signage Ordinance 2017-0004. The maximum area of square footage allowed is 72 square feet. The area for both attached signage is 97.18 square feet. Although this area surpasses the maximum area square footage, the calculation of 3% of the total wall area is greater than the maximum area of square footage. Thus, the proposed multiple attached signage is in compliance. The attached signage complies with the City of Laredo Historic Urban Design Guidelines, which states business signs on buildings shall be limited to signs for a corner lot. Continuation of the recommendation for staff supports. The removal of the existing signage conforms with the Secretary of Interior standards for rehabilitation and guidelines for rehabilitating historic buildings, as removal will not affect the essential form and integrity of the historic structure, existing historic structure. The historic character of the structure will be retained and preserved. The staff general comments, any improvement which approved by the Historic District Landmark Board shall also comply with the building code requirements and other regulations as provided by the Laredo Land Development Code. Approval of the Historic District Landmark Board does not guarantee the approval of a building permit or any other permit which may be required. It is recommended that all existing improvements utilize the following resources as a guide: the Secretary of Interior Standards for Rehabilitation, Guidelines for Rehabilitating Historic Buildings, City of Laredo Historic Urban Design Guidelines, City of Laredo Historic Preservation Plan, and the proposed motion. Thank you, Madam Chair.
All right,
I also, Madam Chair, if you,
yes.
I also wanted to note that we did confer with the building department, who fully reviewed the proposed plans, and they do comply with the Laredo Land Development Code requirements for signage, so that has already been reviewed.
Great. And, what about the historic district signage requirements?
That is what she mentioned in her presentation, that for corner lot, only 2 signs are allowed per the historic urban plan. So it is also in compliance with that, as well as the Secretary of Interior's standards.
Okay, because there was a time where we had very strict signage guidelines that restricted color, size of letters, and even font, etc.
Really? In the urban guidelines, it mentions, or the Historic Urban Preservation Plan, it does mention the adoption of certain guidelines with regard to signage. But as far as we could tell, those were not adopted. But it does mention having the further action to have them adopted. And it does talk about color and signs and lettering and that sort of thing.
That's very interesting, because both Dr. Green and I have served on this board historically, and we followed those and used those to base our decisions
We'll be happy
as
to,
adopted.
yeah, we'll happy to look into it further.
Yes,
Absolutely.
not that we need them. I mean, they were very restrictive, I think, but I was thinking that we were still bound by them.
Well, we'll definitely look for it. We'll look into it,
Thank you.
for sure. But as far as what we could tell, we researched, all the avenues, our usual tools, and this is what we found, what was presented in her presentation.
Okay, very good. Thank you. So, what are the wishes of the board? Is there a motion to open the public hearing, allow the applicant to speak, and to make a motion?
I move to open the public hearing.
I second.
So the public hearing is open. We'd like to invite the petitioner, if you would like to make a presentation.
Basically, she did well.
I like that. Thank you.
Do we have any questions of the petitioner?
No, I don't.
It's pretty clear cut.
Yeah.
All right, so,
It looks like we're just taking down that old pole sign on the top and then putting two that meet all your criteria on the walls. They
Yes.
look clean and they look neat. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know what the rest of the board is seeing.
That's the same thing I see. It seems like an upgrade.
Yes, sir.
so Roxy, would you put up the motion for us again, the recommended motion?
Okay. If we can get the PowerPoint, there you
Oh,
go.
there we go.
The motion is the erection of multiple attached signage and the removal of multiple existing signage on lots 1, 2, and 3, portion of the west side of lot 4. So it would be the removal of the roof signage and the signage located on the south of the building, and then the attached signage to be added on the new installation on the north and south face of the building.
Is there a motion?
I move to approve per staff recommendations.
I second that.
There's a motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Thank you very much. Does look like an upgrade. I'd be afraid those old signs would blow over.
Yeah, especially the
those
roof
lamps.
sign did look.
Yeah, the lamp.
Yeah, basically that's what the city did, is you're not able to put any signs on top of the roofs anymore and all that stuff.
Mm.
So that's the reason that that sign's coming down also, that it's there. It's also causing damage to the building itself.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good, thank you. So, next item, item 7, election of officers. And first is election of a chairman and then election of a vice chairman. This is my last meeting.
Madam Chair, we would need to wait until we have the everyone appointed and here in order to have our election of officers.
Well, I had suggested that we begin the discussion of vice chair only
Oh,
because
okay.
I knew I wasn't gonna be here at one meeting and I was concerned that we didn't have a vice chair. The vice chair resigned,
Uh-huh,
and so there's no one to hand it off to.
uh-huh.
So,
Well,
there are members here that will remain. Maybe
Mhm.
we can select a vice chair just in case.
okay. Typically, and I'd have to go back and look at the rules for election of officers. Typically, the election of officers happen when you have everyone seated. But, we can, it's not set in stone.
Yeah.
If something happens and we need to, redo it, we can do that.
So then we can have a meeting and just
Yeah, you-
nominate someone.
Yeah, by
to
consensus, you
serve.
can agree, who will act as vice chair for that meeting.
Very good.
Absolutely.
Okay, sounds good. So, there being no more action, then we can adjourn.
I think we're done. Oh, I just wanted to, very quickly, Mr. Navarro, our director, sends his regrets. He was unfortunately called to a meeting that's actually happening just down the hall. So he did want to be here, but unfortunately, he was just called away to that meeting. So he does send his apologies for not being able to attend.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, and
And
since
thank
I'm
you
not
all.
going,
Thank you all so much for everything, for all your participation and all your hard work.
I won't be here, but I thank you all for your service.
Oh, we're gonna call you anyway, babe.
You're gonna be here.
And thanks,
You'll get back on your side.
congratulate staff, because they're doing a great job. Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you so much. It's with your leadership that we can, that we take our cues from you all, and we definitely, we thank you for all of, the guidance and leadership that you all provide. Thank you.